What is up, fam? It looks like we have a rare daytime oddity. It's one of the what is this? The centaur oddity, not to be confused with, is it Furnace? Is that the name of Hagrid's centaur that we see for the care of magical creatures, I believe? If I'm not mistaken, I think that's correct, just going off of memory. But it's interesting that we would come across an oddity, because that is actually what today's video is about. We have some new oddities coming, and coming soon. Also, because I know nobody has enough of the Hogwarts school foundables, we've got Flitwick. I actually really like Flitwick, and in fact, if I don't free Flitwick here, I think I'm going to set this down and do an AR photo. In my opinion, the best way my Flitwick, when I aborted so that I could get to a better spot so I could do an AR photo, it had had enough of me and it quit me. But what I was going to say is, in my opinion, it's best to do these AR photos down close to the ground. If you follow any kind of like photography type people, they will always tell you to get the better angles. Like if you're with children or pets and you're trying to take photographs of them, get down on their level. And a lot of these foundables, like this one, I mean, this one worked perfectly in this little grassy patch area that I'm at, but a lot of these foundables are smaller and closer to the ground, so it makes sense. I'm really disappointed that Flitwick wanted nothing to do with me. Maybe it's because I always thought I was a Ravenclaw and it turns out that I was a Hufflepuff, and so Flitwick just kind of basically said, I ain't got time for you. So I've come across this nice little cluster spawn. Probably not a lot here that I need, because they are care magical creatures. This happens to be this little guy right here. Our friend in the tan suit that nobody seems to know. Lynette from Wizards PhD seems to think, no, it's Tony Stark. And that would make sense that that was Tony Stark just vanishing and disappearing like that. But luckily, I was fortunate enough to go to San Diego Comic-Con, where the Wizards Unite family had a big panel, and they were talking about a lot of things for this game, the details that they were talking about. And it was so apparent that they love this game. They're fans of Harry Potter. They're fans of the augmented reality, the geolocation games. And there's so much that they've put into this game that it's nice to see the people that this is the closest to, it's at their heart, you know, really into this game. It makes it feel like the game is in really good hands. And one of the things that people were most interested in about with Comic-Con and the panel was, are we gonna get more FanFest? What are we calling this thing? Wizards Unite FanFest? Is that what we're calling this thing? But most people were interested in knowing the details. Are we gonna get more details? And it turns out we did. We got a lot of details, actually. The biggest of them being dragons. Dragons are coming to Wizards Unite, and they're coming soon. Now, when I went to the launch events back in, I don't even, like, it's been a month now. The game has been out. God, can you believe that? Does it feel like this game has been out a month? It doesn't to me. And I'm creating content every day. I haven't had a day off in a month. I got to do something about this. But think about this. In a month, we've had so much already. We've already had 2 brilliant events. We've had a community day. We are getting FanFest. Now, FanFest isn't until the end of August, and it's only July, so it's a solid 6 weeks away. But we already know we have another brilliant event. So there's a ton happening with this game. When they announced the details of FanFest, they announced, first of all, you can register, sign up for FanFest, and then it basically felt like immediately after that they said, oh yeah, we're starting to give out tickets. The way that you can check for your tickets is the email that you registered with. From my understanding, and it's only my understanding because your boy did not get his name drawn on the first go-round for tickets to FanFest. Win some, lose some, right? But that doesn't mean all hope is lost. So the way that I understand it is basically this. Those who were drawn on the initial draw are going to have 48 hours to decide, yes, I'm going, and here are my 4 friends, or up to 4 friends that you can bring to FanFest. Then additionally, you're going to choose, do I want to be there on the 31st or do I want to be there on the 1st? And your decisions aren't done. This is like a stinking pop test in math class. You have one more choice that you have to make. Am I going in the north entrance or the south entrance? And then there's a bonus question. Do you want the general admission, which is going to be $30, or do you want early access, which is $40? I'm thinking if you're going to spend the money to go to the festival, you might as well spend the $10 extra to have the 2 extra hours at FanFest. For the money you're going to spend to get there, what is another $10? That just means you're going to skip coffee the 2 days that you're there, and there is your $10. But then after all that information was out, because they said at the end of this presentation, tickets will be able to be registered for, they had one more little trick up their sleeve. So they pulled out their wands, and I don't know what spell they cast, but they cast a spell that said dragons. I have no idea. I'm just making this up as I go. The audience was like, oh, you just heard everybody gasp, and then there was a yay, there was a cheer, there was a celebration. Everybody's like, wow. And when I was at the launch event back a month ago, which I got completely derailed on, I'd asked, are there going to be regionals in this game? And the answer I was given was yes, but they're going to be in the form of oddities. So it would make sense that the horned serpent seems to be a regional because it is an oddity. But dragons are going to be oddities, and it's going to be our first look at like major regional foundables in Wizards Unite. Now they're all going to be available, and when I say all, four dragons are going to be available at Wizards Unite Fest. And then after that, my guess, and it's strictly speculation here, my guess is they're going to go to their homes. Where are their homes? Well, we know probably. Yeah, we kind of know. But here's what we got. The 4 dragons are going to be the common Welsh green, the Antipodine Opali. I hope I'm saying these right. If I'm not, I'm going to get crucified in the comments below. What can you do? The Chinese Fireball, and the Peruvian Viper Tooth. Now when they announced these, and it was, I believe it was Mary Casey who was talking about the dragons and their release. Actually it wasn't. The lady sitting next to her actually stole her thunder. I don't remember who it was. Or it was Alex. Was it Alex? Was it Alex Moffat? No. It was the other lady, and I can't remember who it was. I apologize. But they stole the thunder. Mary Casey was kind of doing this little build up, this little hype up, and then someone goes, dragon. It's going to be dragons are coming. But Mary Casey also said there are going to be characters associated with dragons. So when I go through this list, I'm going to give my opinion of what I think the most likely scenario for additional foundables or characters included in the game when the foundables are released. The common Welsh green, obviously, because it is the common Welsh green, Wales, is native to Wales. I expect this to be in the region of Europe and the United Kingdom. Possible other characters associated could be Fleur Delacour, and I hope I'm saying that name properly. The reason why I think this is because she was actually married to Bill Weasley at some point in the Harry Potter world, and she's most well known for competing in the Triwizards tournament alongside Harry, representing the Beauxbatons school. So it's a character that most people, if you are familiar with Harry Potter lore, then you know who Fleur Delacour is. So it makes sense to bring another figure that people recognize into the game. Now in what capacity, I'm not sure. My guess is they'll add an oddities page to go into your registry, and it may include characters, it may not. Maybe Fleur Delacour. That is kind of a cool name. If I ever had a child, I would name it something like Fleur Delacour. It sounds like you go, Fleur Delacour, and it would fit, and you could just be fancy with your fancy name. But my guess is dragons will be on an oddities page, probably, and then maybe these other characters will find homes somewhere else. Like I said, when it comes to the additional characters, this is all going to be speculation. In fact, most of this video is actually speculation. Moving on, we have the Antipodine Opali. I know the Opali is right. I got that down. The Antipodine, I'm feeling pretty shaky on. But this is native to New Zealand, and it's known to migrate over to Australia. I'm gonna go out on a pretty strong limb here and say it is going to be the down under native, local, regional for this game. I expect this to be in New Zealand and Australia. As far as possible other characters, this one was really hard to tell when I was doing research. It's most likely going to be a new character to the Harry Potter world, with the outside chance of a new version of Dumbledore or Newt Scamander. Moving down the list, we have the Chinese Fireball, aka the Lion Dragon. This one is native to China, so I'm gonna go out on another pretty strong limb here, and I'm going to say that this one is going to be the Asia region exclusive. Possible other characters that could come from this are going to be Charles Weasley and Victor Krum. And finally, the fourth dragon on my list is the Peruvian Vipertooth. It is native to eastern and northeastern Peru. The thing you'll notice here, I didn't mention North America, I didn't mention Canada, but because every time there's an event so far, like Community Day, like whenever we have the Brilliant events, they always include it as the Americas and Greenland. And since Peru is part of South America, I'm going to take a little bit of liberty here, and I'm going to say that they're not going to exclude North America on regionals from the beginning. And I'm going to say that the expected region is going to be South America, which is actually going to include the Americas and Greenland. Although if it doesn't include North America, I'm actually okay with that. And if it doesn't, in fact, include North America, there are no dragons. And there are 18 dragons total in Harry Potter lore, but none are native to North America, which leaves the question, if we don't get the Peruvian Vipertooth, what will we get? Possible other characters that are going to be included with the release of the Peruvian Vipertooth. Harvey Ridgebit, that was the first person to catch a Peruvian Vipertooth. So a little bit of a stretch there. It could be another character that we don't know anything about, a new character to the game. It is not out of the realm of possibility that new characters are added to Harry Potter lore through games. We've seen it before. I'm sure we'll see it again. Between the Vipertooth and then the Opal Eye, I think those are the two most likely to have new characters added to the story, to the folklore, but there is also the possibility that there will be characters that we already know and a little bit of some canon stretch in order to fit it in, to tie it all up in a nice little bow. Oh, and would you look at that? Like right on cue. We have a severe Magical Creatures trace. It's the other Centaur, Fernes, right? Is that it, Fernes? I still haven't recovered on my potions from the Community Day event, so I'm just going to drop a strong Extimulo potion. Let's see how this works out. That was a great trace, I'm not gonna lie. And it even says, great trace. That didn't work. It resisted me. Try number 2. That one was just good. I don't anticipate this one really working out so well for me. And in fact, you know what I should do? This is a great opportunity to get an AR photo. Let's see. What do I have? What are my options here? I have a nice little rock. So now that I'm low to the ground, let's go ahead and turn on my AR. Oh yeah, that's a beauty. This is gonna be nice. Yeah, this is, as they say in Texas where I'm from, this dog will hunt. Now, I just gotta get a trace that's worth a crap. Good isn't worth a crap. Unless it works, and this one works, so we're gonna put it in the book. Yeah, I would be mad if I were you too, quite honestly, but I just did you a favor. You don't need to bow up to me, okay? Back to the Forbidden Forest for you. We know 2 of those dragons are for sure. The other 2 are just speculation based off of the images that were provided at San Diego Comic-Con, and then some research comparing pictures and looking at Jib's Entertainment. Highly suggest you check out his site if you are looking for some more information about the dragons. I was there. It was a great little panel. It was a great little speech. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think that I have them right? I don't know that they are. I know 2 of them are, but the 4, there's 2 that are speculation, kind of some comparing and contrasting. There were really only 18 dragons to look through, so it's not that far of a stretch. But let me know in the comments below, how do you think I did? Do you think I got the dragons right? And how do you think I did on the characters that would be associated with them, if in fact we are getting characters associated with dragons? That's all I've got for this one. It is blazing hot. Heat wave is gripping most of the country. It was on Community Day. It's continuing to do so. Make sure when you're playing this game, you're doing it safely. Sunscreen, water, shelter, brakes. In fact, this is a great opportunity to get out in the morning and get those doxies that you're going to need for your SOS task force. That's all I've got for this one. So until next time.